From Illinois Public Media News, this is 217 Today. I'm Stephanie Mosqueda. It's Wednesday, October 3rd. Coming up, we'll learn how the deaths of more than 40,000 Palestinians and 1,200 Israelis over the past year has drawn out deep divisions among Jewish college students. That story in just a few minutes. But first, these headlines. Users of Waze navigation software are being reminded of Illinois' move over law if there's Illinois State Police activity on the road. Waze and Google are partnering with the state on a new early alert system for traffic stops, crashes, or other state police matters. State Police details the activity and sends it to Google Cloud, where it's translated and sent to Waze as map icons and alerts telling drivers to slow down and move over. Sanjay Gupta is head of the Illinois Department of Innovation and Technology. He says more than 3 million people have already gotten these alerts.
Innovation does not always require a new solution that starts from scratch. Instead, leveraging existing tools in new ways often can have a broader, faster impact.
Google Maps will also get the technology eventually. State Police says 2 troopers have been killed since 2019 due to move-over law violations. 60 have been injured. A federal judge is declining to toss out part of the corruption indictment against former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan. Dave McKinney has more.
Madigan defense lawyers wanted the government's racketeering, conspiracy, and bribery case against him to be largely dismissed after a Supreme Court ruling this summer. The High Court redefined a federal bribery statute. The decision decriminalized payments or rewards to state office holders so long as they weren't trading official government action for favors. But Judge Robert Blakey left intact the 23-count indictment against Madigan. The judge said it would be up to a jury to decide if there was a quid pro quo between Madigan and those wanting his support for legislation while allegedly doling out no-work contracts to his allies or steering business to his law firm. Jury selection in the case begins next Tuesday. Dave McKinney, WBEZ News.
Classes at Danville School District 118 are resuming today. The district shifted to an e-learning day yesterday after a middle school was the target of a social media threat. Danville Police says the person who made the threat was identified and there was no credible threat. No other details were released. Again, classes in Danville School District 118 resume as normal today. The expiration of the 2018 Farm Bill means some programs are now set to end at the end of the year. Andrew Larson is the Director of Government Relations and Strategy for the Illinois Soybean Association. He says supplemental nutrition programs for low-income families and crop insurance face the chopping block in January.
Those are programs that are really important to making sure we have a reliable food system, where we have crops that are being able to be planted and relied on year after year, and the farmers aren't going out of business.
Larson says some of the programs, like biofuel research, ended immediately with the Farm Bill expiring on Monday. Congress won't reconvene until the general election in November. Farm bills are renewed on a 5-year cycle. The 2018 Farm Bill received an extension in 2023. Still to come, we'll learn how the deaths of more than 40,000 Palestinians and 1,200 Israelis over the past year has drawn out deep divisions among Jewish college students. That story is coming up next on 217 Today. But first, meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your forecast for today.
I'm meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your IPM News forecast for Champaign-Urbana. Today, look for sunny skies with a high of 78 degrees and a southeast wind 5 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies with a low of 52 degrees, a southeast wind 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 79 degrees, a northeast wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies with a low of 53 degrees, a northeast wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for Saturday, sunny with a high of 81 degrees, and a southeast wind 5 to 10 miles per hour.
Next time on the 21st Show, every aspect of Abraham Lincoln's life has been explored in countless books and films. The latest entry in that library looks at his intimate life.
Today, the big question that people are asking is, was Abraham Lincoln gay?
I'm Brian Mackey. That's next time on the 21st Show. Join us.
You're listening to 217 Today. I'm Stephanie Mosqueda. College is often a time and place where young people are figuring out who they are and who they want to be. For many Jewish students, that experience has been especially fraught amid escalating conflict in and around Israel and Gaza this past year. The deaths of more than 1,200 Israelis last October and more than 40,000 Palestinians since then has amplified divisions in the Jewish community and within Jewish college students themselves. On Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, that's made fellowship with Jewish classmates both more important and all the more difficult. Lisa Kieran-Phillip has this report from the campus of Northwestern University.
It's the first day of class, and a handful of students are catching up over free cookies and donuts in the lobby of Northwestern University Hillel, the biggest and best-funded campus group for Jewish students at the Evanston School. Senior Adam Jaffe is tucked away up a flight of stairs in a much quieter space, surrounded by windows with views onto a rainy day. This is a special place for him.
It's been always the place that when I need to get out of the house, when I need to go for a walk, when I need to be with people and find community that I go to, and I can, it really does feel like a home here at Northwestern.
Sari Eisen is in her second year as student president of Northwestern Hillel.
Hillel has meant everything to me.
Eisen says she's been involved with the organization ever since she attended Yom Kippur services her freshman year.
It definitely has given me the sense of community that I was looking for in college, feeling like I have some kind of connection with people who I might not even know just because we share that Jewish identity and we share the involvement in the community and the kind of devotion to leading a, good life.
Many college students, away from their families for the first time, are trying to figure out who they are and where they fit in. For Jewish students like Jaffe and Eisen, the first and most obvious place to look for a community on Northwestern's campus is Hillel. It hosts religious services, but also barbecues, a running club, and even a theater troupe. Staff say it's meant to be a place for all Jewish students to find fellowship and guidance on their journey to adulthood. That mission has been made more essential, but also nearly impossible by the October 7th Hamas attacks and Israel's onslaught of Gaza since then. The ceaseless death and destruction over the past year have drawn out deeply held beliefs that are not easily reconciled. Here's Jaffe again.
My belief that Israel has a right to exist, and yet there is vast injustice to Palestinians has always remained pretty steadfast. And I think sometimes I have felt at odds with both of those parts of myself this past year.
It's something he's confronted with constantly, he says.
I definitely have felt on campus in this pocket of, I don't know if I really feel comfortable going to the protests, and yet at the same time, I don't want to go demonstrate for Israel as well. And so I find myself in this, isolated area.
Jaffe wants Hillel to be a place where anyone from Northwestern's Jewish community can discuss these big questions he asks himself every day.
What it means to be Jewish, what it means to question my Zionism, what it means to question the belief in the state of Israel, and to do that openly and honestly and authentically.
But inviting that kind of reflection and open dialogue is hard. Hillel considers Zionism a foundational value. The organization does not allow speakers who support boycotts and divestment over Israel's treatment of Palestinians. That makes Hillel a space where Eisen feels safe. She attended a Jewish day school growing up and has been to Israel many times. She thinks calls for divestment cross a line, that they're an affront to her Jewish identity.
For any student who feels a connection to Israel, who has been there, who has friends or family or anything, to say that, to encourage Northwestern to completely cut ties, feels, again, like they're asking a person to kind of put aside a part of their identity and say that you're welcome, but your family is not, or like you are welcome, but your country is not.
For sophomore Dan Marietta, it's another story. They are one of the students calling for divestment. I spoke with them at a protest demanding the U.S. cut off military funding to Israel. Murrieta found a lot of people at Northwestern who shared their political views, but they wanted to find students who shared their Jewish identity, too.
I had a lot of friends who agreed with me about the illegal occupation of Palestine and about the horrible atrocities committed against Palestinians using U.S. arms, using the Israeli military and the Israeli government. But I had only had one Jewish friend that felt like that. And as a Jewish person, that felt very isolating.
They gave Hillel a shot.
I got into an argument with somebody, and I had like a whole table of people arguing with me and telling me that I was like crazy. I didn't know what I was talking about, and so I just didn't want to go again.
Earlier this year, Murrieta and other Jewish students started a chapter of the pro-Palestinian organization Jewish Voice for Peace. The group has just a fraction of Hillel's funding, but it's given Murrieta the sense of community they so badly wanted.
All these people came together, and I met all these people I didn't know were also Jewish and felt like this, and it gave us a space to work together from that perspective. As you build up a community yourselves, you get that connection again. You get deeply more involved in your Jewish identity.
Back at Hillel, in the quiet space overlooking a rainy sidewalk, Jaffe is still wishing students like Eisen and Murrieta could build a community together, uniting in their shared Jewish identity while trying to understand one another's viewpoints.
Because at the heart of Judaism is skepticism, and that is what we do best in many ways. And I think it makes Hillel at Northwestern and Hillel internationally a stronger organization to make sure that those Jewish voices are being heard.
Otherwise, the divides that keep students like Eisen and Murrieta apart will only grow deeper, he says. Lisa, Corey, and Philip.
That's it for today. 217 Today is produced by Stephanie Mosqueda. Reporting today contributed by Alex Seckman, Dave McKinney, Reginald Hardwick, Colin Shop, and Lisa Kieran Phillip. Music by the Kilbourne Alley Blues Band. Reginald Hardwick is our news director. I'm Stephanie Mosqueda. 217 Today is a production of Illinois Public Media. Thanks for listening, stay safe, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.